Friends, I myself, Dr. Bharat Parab, discussing properties of the parallelogram. A parallelogram. Let us study the parallelogram in detail. Look at these figures and these figures. You notice these are parallelograms. All these are parallelograms, and these are not parallelograms. Okay, you will come to know the reason when you study the parallelogram in detail. For this, we need to study the elements of parallelogram in the beginning. So this is a parallelogram and we are studying the elements of parallelogram. See, it is given here A, B, C, D. These are the vertices of the parallelogram. AB and DC are opposite sides. That means AB and DC are opposite sides. AB and BC, AB and BC are adjacent sides. Okay, these are opposite, these are adjacent sides. Angle A and angle C are the pairs of opposite angles. Getting it? And angle A and angle D are the pairs of adjacent angles. So this is applicable for all this. This is opposite to this angle is adjacent to this angle is opposite to this, B is opposite to D, like that. Okay. So these are the minimum elements of the parallelogram. Okay. So after having seen the elements of parallelogram, we are now studying the properties of parallelogram. So properties are to be studied in three aspects: sides, angles, and diagonals. So sides. What are the properties of sides with respect to parallelogram? That is, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So these AB is opposite to DC, or these two are opposite to each other. For to get a parallelogram, these are to be equal and parallel. Similarly for these two. Okay, just for example, one is given, but this is also supposed to be parallel to this and equal. So AD has to be equal to BC. That is about sides. Now angles. Angles of the parallelogram, that is, opposite angles are equal. See A and C, like A and C, these are opposite angles and these are opposite angles. So B is equal to D and A is equal to C. Okay, so that is about angles. And another property of angle is adjacent angles are supplementary. That is, the sum is 180. So these are adjacent angles. B and C are adjacent. D and C are adjacent. A and D are adjacent. A and B are adjacent. The property is, if you add the measures of these angles, the sum will be 180. Okay, very simple. And diagonals. What is the condition for diagonals? The diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other. Okay, so they bisect each other. That is this. Angle may be anything, but this and this is equal, and this is equal. That is what we call as bisecting. Okay, use this property to solve the problems. Okay, so we move ahead. After having studied the properties of parallelogram on sides, angles, and diagonals, we are into the problem solving phase on this topic of parallelogram. Okay, the first one is, consider the following parallelograms. Find the values of x, y, and z. We try to solve the problems using these properties. Okay, so example or problem related to parallelogram. This is the first problem, 2a. We have solved some problems in previous video. So we have to find x, y, z in this parallelogram. We will draw a figure of this parallelogram. See, this is that ABCD. We have given names A, B, C, D, and B is 100. Okay, so this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. We have to find the XYZ angles. How will we find out? We will be using the angle of a parallelogram property. First property we are using, see the comment there, by the angle properties of the parallelogram. First property is opposite angles of parallelogram are congruent or are equal. Okay, you need to read these properties of angle, side, diagonals, whatever it may be, so that you can use these properties in these solving examples or anywhere. Okay, so as opposite angles are congruent, y equal to 100 because y is opposite of this 100. Okay, now another property, adjacent angles are supplementary angles. What does that mean? That means addition of any two adjacent angles, each two angles are each 180. Now the problem is very simple. Z plus 100 is equal to 180. That means Z equal to 180 minus 100 is 80 degree. And by the previous property, property 1, Z is equal to X at the both are opposite angles. X is also equal to 80. So we write in the answer form that X equal to 80 degree. Degree is very important, degree radian. Y equal to 100 and Z equal to 80 degree. Next problem, again we have to find x, y, z, where x, y, z are the measures of certain angles. Look at this figure, and with this is x, this is y, this exterior angle is z, and measure of one angle is given, that is 50. Now we have to apply certain properties, certain rules related to angles of the parallelogram and find x, y, z. Okay, so by the angle properties of the parallelogram, read the comment there. Okay, by the angle properties of the parallelogram, where first is opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so opposite angles are congruent is a property of the parallelogram. So we are denoting this angle as A just for simplicity. This is A. Okay, that means this A is 50. Though we don't have to find it out, but it's very much needed to find x, y, z. Okay, because this A plus z is 180. Okay, so z is equal to 180 minus 50. Very simple arithmetic calculations. So z equal to 130. Now we are using the another property where alternate angles are supplementary. That is, if we take any two angles, alternate angles, and add these measures, the addition will be, or the summation will be 180. Okay, so we are using that property to find the measures of x and y. So x plus 50 is 180. So x equal to 180 minus 50 is 130 again. And x is equal to y because they are opposite angles. So x is equal to y. So y equal to also 130. So we write the answer here, x equal to 130, y equal to 130 degree, and z also equal to 130 degree. Don't forget to write the unit degree. Another problem, again we have to find x, y, and z, where x, y, and z are the angles in the parallelogram. Okay, see, this is a parallelogram or figure, and these are the diagonals, and just check, this angle is 30, this is x, this is y, and this is z, this is 90. That is very useful for us. Okay, So answer, as the diagonals are intersecting each other at a right angle as given in the figure. See the comment or see the figure, as the diagonals intersect at right angle. Okay, see where it is. I will show you what right angle. See, it is given in the figure. This is that right angle. Okay, if this is 90, then of course x is the opposite angle, that is 90. So we got x. Now it is very simple. Now that x, y and that 30 are the angles of same triangle. So addition of this, that is x plus y plus 30 is equal to 180. Very simple. Now you know what is x. X is 90. Okay, we will substitute the value. No, the triangle means that is a triangle, so addition is 180. So 90 plus y plus 30 is 180. So of course y is equal to 180 minus 90 minus 30. Very simple arithmetic calculations, and we get y equal to 60. And you know y and z are the alternate angles of parallel lines. Okay, that means y is equal to z, therefore z is also 60. Okay, just see. So we write the comment there, z equal to 60, and we write in the answer that x equal to 90, y equal to 60, and z is also equal to 60. Okay, always write degree. Another problem, 2D. Again we have to find x, y, z, where x, y, z are the angles of the parallelogram. See this figure. This is a parallelogram, and some angles are marked as x, y, z, and some measures of some angles are given. Let us check which is given, which is marks x, y, z, and what property is to be used. This is 80, this is x, this is y, and this is z. Okay, so we will use proper property. Okay, so answer. Now by angle property related to parallelogram, its opposite angles of the parallelogram are equal. Okay, this property we are going to use. Now clearly y is equal to 80. Okay, so one we got. Another is, we will see, I will just give you, just highlight it. These are the opposite angles, and these are the adjacent angles. See this. Okay, and what is another property? Sum of the adjacent angles of a parallelogram is 180, that is, they are supplementary angles. Okay, so by adjacent angle property related to the parallelogram, we get x plus 80 equal to 180. Okay, so x equal to 180 minus 80 is 100. Try to understand these properties, by heart them, or solve as many problems as you can, so that automatically you can by heart all these properties. Okay, so z equal to 80, as this is a corresponding angle in this figure, that is the 80 and z are the corresponding angles of the parallel lines. So these are congruent. So x equal to 100, y equal to 80, z equal to 80. Another problem where again we have to find x, y, z, where x, y, z are the measures of the angles in a parallelogram at different positions. We will see the diagram here. This is a parallelogram and this is a diagonal. This angle is 112. Look at it, and this is y. This is a 40, and we have this angle as x, and this is Z. Okay. Now the problem like that is very easy. We go for the answer. We are supposed to use angles of the parallelogram property here. There are two at present. We are using a proper one, that is for the opposite angles of the parallelogram are congruent. Okay, as we are dealing with the uh, opposite angles, see, read the comment, I am writing it there. Opposite angles are congruent. Okay, that means y is opposite of 112. Look at it, look at this. Yes, this is opposite. That means y is equal to 112. Okay. Now in that triangle where y is there, now look at the triangle. Some measures of the angles of the triangle is 180. We will be using that property, very famous property. So 40 plus y plus x is equal to 180. Okay, some angles. That means we substitute the value of y. 40 plus 112 plus x is equal to 180. Very simple calculations. So x equal to 180 minus 40 minus 112 is 28. Yes, it is 28. Okay. So we got x. Now x equal to z, because these are the alternate angles between the two parallel lines. Opposite lines are parallel for the parallelogram, and a diagonal is a intersecting line between these two. So z is alternate to x. So x equal to z, and therefore z is also equal to 28. So we write the answer here, x equal to 28 degree, y equal to 112, and z is 28 degree. Okay, that's the answer. Can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if A, angle D plus angle B is equal to 180? We have to again check whether this quadrilateral with this condition can be a parallelogram or not, and follow this for the answer. Okay, so answer, read the conditions properly. Angle D plus angle B is 180. Okay, let us actually draw a quadrilateral in the form of parallelogram and check actually into the diagram, so that picture will be clear for us. Okay, see the comment. Let us draw a quadrilateral as parallelogram. I am drawing a quadrilateral. We will be naming it as given there, and see whether conditions satisfies or not. Okay, so this is a parallelogram, and we are naming it A, B, C, D, so that we will come to know what is angle B, what is angle D, whether this is possible or not. Okay, so if you see that angle D and angle B are opposite angles of the parallelogram. Okay, so by the opposite angles property, okay, we will read the comment. Angle B and angle D are the opposite angles of the parallelogram. These are the two angles, and the property says that both these angles should be congruent. Okay, see the comment given there, as by the property that opposite angles of the parallelogram be comfortably slow, so that you understand everything and should not have any problem. Okay, so see the comment there, by the property the opposite angles of the parallelogram are congruent. So we get angle D should be equal to angle B. Therefore, if addition has to be 180, that means angle D has to be 90 and angle B should be also 90. So this is possible. We will draw a diagram accordingly satisfying this condition. Earlier we have drawn the diagram, just the arbitrary diagram. Now we know the condition, so we draw this diagram, name them accordingly, A, B, C, D, and D is 90 and B is also 90. So this is possible, that is with the given condition this parallelogram is possible. See, okay, and that parallelogram will be either, read the comment there, okay, read the comment there, think over it, okay, will be a rectangle or even square, okay, so need to think like that, okay. So second problem on this basis, can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if B1 AB equal to DC equal to 8 centimeters, AD equal to 4 centimeters, and BC equal to 4.4 centimeters. Okay. So we will check whether quadrilateral drawn like this can be a parallelogram or not. Follow the answer. Second problem, check for the conditions given. AB equal to DC equal to 8 centimeters and AD equal to 4 centimeters and BC equal to 4.4 centimeters. So we will be drawing a rough sketch of a parallelogram and check whether this is possible or not. Okay. So check for the comment. Let us draw a parallelogram. I am drawing a parallelogram and we will check whether it is possible or it violates any law or property. So this is a parallelogram and we will name it as A, B, C, D as given. AB is equal to DC is possible because AB is opposite to DC and that has to be, that satisfies the condition. AD equal to 4 centimeter and BC is equal to 4.4 centimeters. Okay. So we will check for the property. The opposite sides of the parallelogram are to be congruent. The property says that the opposite sides of the parallelogram are to be congruent. But in this case, AD is not equal to BC because AD is 4 and BC is 4.4 centimeters. Hence, this type of parallelogram is not possible. That is, parallelogram cannot satisfy the conditions. Okay. So write not possible. Okay. And think on it. And the last one, see, can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if angle A is 70 and angle C is 65? We will check whether such, with these conditions, the quadrilateral can be a parallelogram or not. Okay, just follow this for the answer. Another condition, we are given measure angle A is 70 and measure angle C is 65. Okay, so we will draw a rough sketch of the parallelogram and check whether this condition is possible or not. That will be easy for us. So I am drawing a rough sketch. This is that, and we will name as given in the exercise A, B, C, D. Okay, you can clearly see this is 70, this is 65, this is A which is 70 and this is C which is 65. We can clearly check that these two angles are opposite angles, and by the property of opposite angles of the parallelogram are to be congruent. So this is not possible as these angles are not same or not congruent. Major angles are different. So write a comment there. Not possible as opposite angles are A and C are not congruent. Okay, that's the answer. Different type of problem. Look at this. Draw a rough figure of quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram but has exactly two opposite angles of the equal measures. See, you are supposed to draw a quadrilateral which should not be a parallelogram but exactly two, not all fours. All four angles is, remember, only two opposite angles of these figures should be equal in measure. Okay, so let us see what the figure could be. So we draw some rough sketch where it satisfies the condition where opposite angles are equal, that is congruent. Okay, so we draw it like this. This is not to the scale, is a rough sketch. Only you have to consider this, and this is congruent. That means this is a kite. Okay, remember this is possible. Fourth one, the measure of the two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 3:2. Find the measures of each of the angles of the parallelogram. Okay, see the adjacent angles are in this ratio, and from this data you have to find the measures of each angles of the parallelogram. So you have to apply proper properties and solve this. Okay, so just we have given the solution. Here we have to find the angles of the parallelogram by some equation. We are given the parallelogram angles are in certain proportion, so we draw the parallelogram and mark them accordingly. Okay, the adjacent angles are, this is one of the angle is 2x, that is there into ratio 3:2. So one will be 2x, another will be 3x. Okay, so these are the adjacent angles. Okay, so we will be using that property. Adjacent angles, read it properly. Okay, if you try many problems, then you need not by head these properties separately. You can use it, and while using it, you will automatically get them by head. Okay, so adjacent angles of the parallelogram property we are using, which says that the adjacent sum of the adjacent angles is 180 or the adjacent angles are supplementary. Okay, that is another representation in maths. The sum of the adjacent angle is 180. So 2x plus 3x is equal to 180. See that? Okay, 2x plus 3x is 180. Now the problem is very simple. So 5x equal to 180. So we find x. Remember, x is not an angle. Okay, 180 upon 5 is 36. Yes, so x is 36. Angle still we have to find out. What are the angles? One angle is 2x and another angle is 3x, because they are in the ratio 2:3 or 3:2. Okay, there. So we go ahead. So the angles of the parallelograms are 2x equal to 2 into 36 is 72, that is one angle, and another is 3x, that is 3 into 36 is 108. It is 108. Okay, so we write the final answer, and angles of the parallelogram are 72 degrees and 108 degrees. Don't forget to write the units: degrees, degree, radians. Okay, this is another sign of parallelogram. Okay, so write it. Next one, fifth one. In the following figure, both RISK and CLUE are the parallelograms. So this is what is given, and we have to find x. Find the value of x. RISK. This is a parallelogram. Okay. And what is given? CLUE. CLUE. This is also parallelogram. Okay. Then using proper properties, you have to find x. You will just follow for the answer. So answer to this question, we have to find x. Let us draw the figure again so that we can apply rules and calculate it. This is a given figure, trapezium type figure, and this is a parallelogram, RISK, green one. See this? Okay, and another parallelogram is CLUE, the orange one. Okay, and this is the angle given in that CLUE 70, and this is 120 in RISK. Okay, so this is the x. Let us consider the intersection of the two lines as O. Now, by the opposite angle property of the parallelogram, that which says that the opposite angles of the parallelogram are congruent. Okay, very easy property, and we will be using that for the parallelogram CLUE. See the comment. Okay, so in parallelogram CLUE, angle L is equal to angle E, that is equal to 70. So E is 70. Okay, this is that. We write there as E 70. Now in that triangle EOS, we have to find out S, angle S, and see here. And another property is adjacent angles of the parallelogram are supplementary angles. That is, the addition of the adjacent angles is 180. Okay, read the comment. Adjacent angles of the parallelogram are supplementary, and we add this in parallelogram RISK. angle K plus angle S, see here, is equal to 180. We know what is angle K, that is 120 plus angle S is equal to 180. So angle S is 180 minus 120 is 60. Okay, so we got this angle 60. Now in triangle EOS, now it is very easy. We can apply the triangle angles addition rule, that is the addition of the angles in the triangle is 180. So in triangle EOS, 70 plus 60 plus x is 180. So x is equal to 180 minus 70 minus 60 is 50. Okay, so we write in the answer form that x, or the unknown which we are supposed to find out, is 50 degrees. Okay, that's it. Last problem, problem number 6. Find major angle C in the following figure if AB is parallel to DC. This is a figure given. We have to find C, and the condition given is AB parallel to DC. That means these two lines are parallel. Angle B is given as 120, and we have to find C. Okay. Answer: angle B and angle C are the interior angles between the parallel lines. These two are the parallel lines. This is a line intersecting these two. So these two are the interior angles, and hence are supplementary. That is measure of this plus measure of this plus measure of this. That means sum. Their sum, measure sum angle is 180. So we have used this property, measure angle B plus measure angle C is 180. Therefore 120 plus C is 180. C is equal to 180 minus 120, that is equal to 60. So measure angle C is 60 degree. Always do write this unit. In solving problem you should not write. You need not write actually. But in the answer you have to write. Okay. So we move ahead with this. This is Dr. Bharat Parab helping you in your studies. If you face any difficulty in this topic, let me know through comment section and I will definitely attend it. Thank you. Good luck.